Welcome and welcome back, everybody, to the OK Grognard Show. Today is Wednesday, December 18th, 2024, just after 10 a.m. Central in beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And what's going on today? We're looking at the year 2024 in review and a preview of 2025. That is to say, what's up with the channel now and then and all of that sort of thing. And, it's all pretty obvious if you follow it. There's the Vince himself in the chat. Thanks for dropping in there, Vince. I appreciate it. I think if you watch the channel or if you scroll through the videos we make, you know the majority of the shows that I do are going to be and have always been first edition, advanced Dungeons and Dragons rules related content. The majority of stuff that I do is related to information in the Dungeon Master's Guide, because that's where most of the stuff is. I mean, Player's Handbook, Monster Manual, sure, there's rules and stuff in there, and we'll go over more of that in the future, because I realized as I'm talking about it and have been thinking about it that it's been heavily content has been heavily leaning toward the DMG, the Dungeon Master's Guide, and I could get more Monster Manual stuff in there, and definitely could talk more about the Player's Handbook stuff, which is interesting in and of itself, if more straightforward and needs less clarification or rumination like what I do, but still worth doing. Don't forget, in 2024, EGG Con started up by Heidi and Eric here in Lake Geneva, and of course it was the first official year of Dragon Days Fantasy Festival. In 2023, we were greeted to a kind of a dry run of that, which was a lot of fun and interesting, but it really kicked off this last year. So couple those things with with GaryCon, and you've got 3 good size events happening in Lake Geneva related to gaming every year now. And we always did 2 or 3 shows, over GaryCon, one around when it was about to happen, one as a kind of a wrap up after the convention show, and then something during the course of the year to remind people about important dates, get your badges, make sure to submit your events, all of that sort of thing. Those are the sort of things we want to do with both of those other conventions, mini-cons, events here in Lake Geneva. So if you figure we do just over 40 shows a year, and there's going to be 9 or 10 shows just about those, and then if you count a show about Virtual Greyhawk Con, and you count a show about Gamehole Con, then we get up to 11 or a dozen pretty fast, and that's 25% of the shows that we do throughout the year. So expect that, because that's we definitely want to talk about those Lake Geneva events, and that also includes talking about 330 Center Street, and talking about if something's going on with the library and if they're having a big event, and also, of course, the Geneva Lake Museum, and occasionally some things that are happening at Lake Geneva Games. So, 15 out of 42 shows are going to be about locations and events that are happening around Lake Geneva. Fully expect that. But you got to figure half of the shows are going to be rules shows, so 21-ish. It takes us to about 36. It leaves about a half a dozen shows about other things. And I think it's worth noting there's some discretionary leeway, but it's going to be adjacent to one of those two things. Probably some stuff I've done on miniatures in the past, and occasionally I'll do something on an old school board game or something that's kind of D&D adjacent. So, expect that sort of thing in 2025 as well. This is the last show of 2024. We're taking 4-ish weeks off, 5 weeks off. We come back on January 15th. That's the important date to know. That's a Wednesday. We'll be back at 10 a.m. Central. This is our winter hiatus. We also take a summer hiatus. It used to be in July. We'll be doing it in June. Probably the month of June or mid-June to mid-July. We definitely want to be back in time for EGGCon. So count on that. There's another thing to discuss, right? To make sure we mention that adjustment is going to be made. So that is about all we have for 2024 and 2025. It's all sort of mashed together because the schedule is the schedule. I guess we'll leave it at that. We don't have to do a big show here. It's been a fun year. There's been a lot of good gaming happening, and we'll continue to do that. Don't forget, on Fridays, most Fridays, you can double check on Facebook if you're not sure if it's going to happen, but most Fridays at Culver's in Lake Geneva, Tom Wam holds court and plays board games and such, with whoever shows up. So usually there's 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes a half a dozen people, and they can always break up into a couple of groups. Others show up. Harold's there a lot, Harold Johnson, so he's good to connect with. Bruce Hurd winds up there quite a bit. And you've got Josh Pop lately from who helps organize GaryCon nowadays. And our friend Wendy, of course, and Kim are there a lot. Heidi and Eric get over there when they can. They're very busy between all the writing for Gaxland and working on EGGCon and raising a couple of kids. Takes a lot of time, so they're pretty busy. But they get out there when they can. So, Fridays at Culver's, 11 to 1 approximately. But yeah, be there by 11. If they start the game and you show up late, you're not going to get into the game late, So try to be there at 11. Plan on having lunch too. Culver's is a good place to feast if you're in the area, if you're anywhere in southeast Wisconsin. So there you go. This has been a discussion of the OK Grognard show, how it was in 2024, how it expanded, how it will focus in 2025, and hopefully you'll come back and listen and watch and all of that other stuff. Invite a friend. Let some people know about the channel. Share this wherever you think gamers are, old school gamers who might be interested in this, and definitely share shows that are about specific topics that you want to discuss in various groups and forums and social media locations around, so that other people can become more aware of it as well. So let's call that, and we'll say that we've been talking about 2024 in review and 2025 in preview here at the OK Grognard Show. The show streams live on Twitch each Wednesday, starting again in January on the 15th, 2025. Thanks, Vince. Many more years of gaming indeed. We'll do that on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Central, and then it's archived on YouTube. Like and subscribe and follow and thumbs up and all that good stuff, and it'd be very much appreciated. Help me make more videos like this by becoming one of my supporters on Patreon. Like these fine fellows: Tom Tullis of Fat Dragon Games, Carlos Lysing of Castle Entertainment, Heath Varnden of the D&D 20, Dave O'Brien, Heidi and Eric Gygax Garland of Gaxland, Vince Ragusa, a.k.a. the Vince himself who was in the chat today, unauthorized user, and, as always, Shane Bradley, DM Extraordinaire. This has been the OK Grognard Show from beautiful Lake Geneva. Signing out for 2024. January 15th, we'll be back in 2025. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.